First of all, recognize the presence of His Excellency, the President, Mr. Charles Savary and Mr. Savary, my cabinet colleagues, the leader of the opposition, my wife and my son, our dear father, the wonderful choir led by Nurse Gilbert. You can say what you want about Nurse Gilbert, but she has been providing great leadership to the church and to the choir. And I think people like that we need to recognize and to celebrate. And all of you who every Sunday come and praise and worship. Let me also recognize all of the residents of Penville, our visitors who are here. Again, this is our feast in Penville. I want to say to the Minister of Tourism that you need to watch very carefully the Penville feast, because it will very well take over the World Choral Music Festival. The people of Penville, they work very hard and they also know how to party. But as this is the 15th time I'll be speaking to you here during the feast, and as I always say to you, we need to consume the spirit of man in moderation. I understand people say you have to take 1 or 2 for the stomach's sake, but you should not take to get drunk. Our feast has been very, very peaceful over the years. Been no incident, they don't need to call the police. I want to say today, let that be the same situation in Penville today. Friday was peaceful, Saturday night was peaceful, and I pray to God that today continues to be very peaceful. We enjoy ourselves, we be merry, and we go home and sleep in peace. Let me also say that we're celebrating this feast at a time when many parts of the world is in turmoil. We have in Iraq a group called ISIS that is pursuing Christians with a view to exterminating them from the face of the earth. But here in Dominica, we have absolute religious freedom, and we do not need to have any form of protection to worship in our country. And I think it is something that we have to guard, it is something that we have to cherish, and it's something all of us must continue to aspire for. Because there are many parts of the world where people do not have that level of freedom. The Holy Father is visiting South Korea. And those of you who've been following this, you will understand the history of the church in South Korea. Over 120,000 people were killed because they proclaimed to be Christians, they proclaimed to be Catholics. So I think we all have to recognize that we must continue to play our part in promoting the peace in our country and, of course, the wider world. I want to say to you that while our feast should not be a time when we from Penville should be spending our money, all our money. It's an opportunity for those who have come here, and let's say to the visitors, whatever money you have in your purse or in your wallet, please do not bother yourself in taking it back home. Let us leave it here in Penville. We have several stops along the road and in the playing field where you can certainly spend it. But Father made reference to communities in the country that have been considered to be backward. And those of us who grew up in this part would know that Penville in many respects was considered to be beyond God's back. Penville people could not speak freely, or they were shy to speak freely outside of Penville. But today, they can speak and they can proclaim that we are from Penville, and we're happy and we're proud to be from this community, this village called Penville. And I think Penville has come a very long way. And we must be thankful to God for these blessings. But we must also pay particular attention to the scripture reading, the gospel, which made reference to the fact that we have to look after the less fortunate in our society. This is not a choice, it is a responsibility which we have to care for the elderly and the less fortunate among us. And this is why I have led a government that has placed the less fortunate at the center of our programs to ensure that those among us who are not able to take care of ourselves, we can do so. But it is not only the responsibility of the government, it is the responsibility of each one of us. If you have too much, you should share with your neighbor who doesn't have anything. If a child next door does not have a pair of shoes to go to school, it should be our responsibility, those of us who can afford to buy the child a pair of shoes. So, and I want to say to the parents that making sure that you receive your books and uniforms. The Office of the Parliament is providing the books again for children and ensure that our children are prepared for school. That's why I'm saying to us, do not spend all our money or hard-earned money today. Let us save some to take care of our children's responsibility, our children's need going into school in September. But I'm always happy to be here, always happy to welcome the President. Of course, we've welcomed several presidents to this part, and let me welcome in a special way our President, His Excellency Charles Salvre and his wife, and welcome again all my colleagues who are here, the leader of the opposition, and all of you who have come from far and near to celebrate with us. Penville is by far one of the most peaceful communities in the world. Not in Dominica, in the world. And it's a place where you will find the most hospitable people and the friendliest people you can find anywhere in the world, and the most faithful people anywhere in the world. And it is a community that I have a very deep passion for and a very deep love for, because of the faith and trust which they placed in me many years ago. And I want to thank you and thank God for that. And so I wish you a happy feast day. Let us celebrate moderation. I understand there'll be two bands here further today. We have a queen. We have our own queen now in Penville. We have our own queen. Miss Dubois is our queen. And I can see, here she goes. And I am predicting that when she vies for the national queen, she has already won this stuff already. So there should be no competition and say, well, give this to Miss Dubois from Penville. She's the queen for whenever we decide. We'll put her forward as one of the candidates. But she is a very mature young lady who was at State College, very responsible and a very good community person and so on. So I want to thank the organizers, thank my friend, Nurse Gilbert, and all of you who have come in here to clean the church and to ensure that we can have a place to worship. I want to thank the villagers for cleaning the village, because last year it was not tidy. And I threatened not to bring any band up here if we do not give a commitment to clean the place. And I'm thankful for you for responding and cleaning the village and ensuring that when people come, the place is spick and span. And I'm happy for that. And so God bless you, and I wish you a happy feast day. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.